Show today as we pilot something new, a new theme for the show where we allow 10 cousins to get on and join us live so that they can express and articulate their thoughts, their ideas, their anecdotal experiences, etc.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out. I'm terrified. Yeah, baby.
So stay stacking. Satoshi's, ounces, and any other things you might be invested in. There's some other things we could talk about on this show that could be invested in that look like um, viable options. So you might want to stack in those once we speak about them. As far as the
You have the article back?
yeah, I have the article on the
Do you
phone.
want me to pull it up?
No, I mean you can. I don't have the exact. I know it's by Reuters, which is that's a good place to get information.
It's reputable
It's
market.
reputable, yeah, it is. So Reuters
You're
is
just
always
gonna
good.
tell them no, you don't need the article.
Well, yeah, if they want to hear about it, we'll see what's popping off.
Ask T Wheelline why he's in the chat and he's not in the If you go in the drop down, cousin, because this was your idea.
What's
you have the link so that you can come on live, but your camera has to be on. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we'll see you shortly.
Camera got to be on so we can see you. I got to see the whites of your eyes.
My mother says that. Oh, BK Crypto, boom. Guess who stepped in the room? Takal. Somebody was supposed to say Takal. That was your signal.
I was drinking some water.
I will check my email, sweetheart. I'm hoping I get to see you this weekend. Yeah. Are you coming in the room, T. Willine? Because this was your idea.
Yeah, come on, pop in the room, people. It's up to you.
Just click the link and you should. You are? Why didn't we get the notification? I don't see anybody here.
Oh, man. I see that thing, but that's nothing.
It says we're here.
We're here. And where is here?
They should be in this room. That's going to drive me crazy.
What if you hit the plus sign?
Because you know what? It didn't give me the right. Of course it didn't. I knew it wasn't going to.
So what happened?
Cousins, it didn't give me the right link. Let me, this is the link. All right, cousins, what we're going to do, because I'm determined to do this. See, I don't know where they're parked at. Where are you guys parked at?
What were you about to do anyway? You got it. Don't get. What were you about to do? You said you had to.
I had to shut it down and start all over again, giving them the right link for this room. I don't know where that was given me. And they're parked somewhere in the waiting room. I thought the link looked too long.
Okay.
So they're chilling in the waiting room somewhere, but where? I don't have a notification or anything. And it's supposed to be inviting guests to this event. Okay, cousins, this is what we're going to do. You're not in the U.S. Take a look at Peak. Cousins, just hold tight. I have to delete the event and kind of start it over again in order to give you the right. Let me see if it'll let me do it here. I doubt it will, but I just want to see if it'll let it. Do any of you see that link that I posted? Because that's the room you're supposed to be in. And I'm worried that only my YouTubers are going to get that.
No. Okay.
And maybe not because YouTube doesn't like links. But I'll have it for next time because I'll put it on my clipboard.
Okay. Yes.
BK Crypto, yes. Okay, click on it. Let me see if you end up in our waiting room.
Yes.
Cousin T Willine, where are you talking to me from? You're talking to me from YouTube. You should get that link as well.
Okay, yes. Overlay.
I still don't have anybody in our waiting room.
You want to check the waiting room?
I should get the.
I mean, if you click on it, I don't know.
No, I would get a notification.
Okay.
And that's going to bother the hell out of me. So where are they parked at? Why did it give me that? There
There
we
you go.
go.
All right, now it worked.
All right, cousin. T Willine, let me see if that link works for you as well. But only the YouTubers are gonna get to.
Yeah, yeah. You just have to go
You
to
guys are
YouTube if
the
you want it.
Twitters, my Twitter users and my Facebook. I don't have any Facebook users, but Twitter users. If you want to join us live and be in the room with us, you're going to have to click over to one of the YouTube channels. And right now we only have BK Crypto.
Let's go.
BK Crypto, I don't see your camera on and I don't have any audio from you. Do you read? BK Crypto, are you there? Mm-mm. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. BK Crypto, if you're not in Chrome, if you're in Safari,
Yeah, please.
it may not work.
Yeah, it works better in Chrome.
I should have wrote that.
Safari doesn't work very
And
well.
the drop down, you need to use Chrome.
Yeah, please.
This would be a lot smoother next show because I have the right link now. I don't know why it gave me that stupid ass link.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we know.
But I need to be in the chat too to see what's
We
going
know
on.
what's going on. We're going to have a good show tonight. Want some people to chime in, and I think it's going to be a very interesting show. Let's jump in the chat room while we figure out what's going on, and then we can go in.
It's not going on chat.
Okay.
He said, no wonder I'm on my iPad. Okay, yes, it hates Safari. I'm on a Mac. I hate using Chrome, but I'm forced to.
Yeah.
With Restream. And next week, when we do it on Monday, we call it Monday Madness, because that's what this is turning into. I will make sure I write, ensure that you're using Chrome in order to join. Yes. But we'll get the notification.
All right. Well.
Okay. While we're waiting for the cousins to hop on, so we can have a real reunion. I see there's 17 people in the room. I think a lot of you are on Twitter. Yeah, a lot of you guys are on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you do want to join us live, you are going to have to hop over to one of the YouTube channels in order to get the link, because the link in the drop down, I don't know where it's parking people. Hopefully there's some feedback. I'll give it to them later. And you need to be using Chrome so that you have an easy user experience. Let's try it again. Cousin BK Crypto, can you hear us? I'm hearing something. Do you read BK Crypto? I don't know if your microphone's not on. And maybe next week, what we'll do is we'll have you guys join first. We can get y'all together first and then we'll go live. We'll do that next week, I promise. Yeah, it'll be a lot smoother. I thought this was going to work different, but it's Restream. It's free Restream at that, so it's super janky. But while we're waiting to get the cousins situated, hubby's going to give his normal reminders. Go ahead.
I did it. I surely did.
Okay, baby.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
How y'all doing?
We're all right. We're okay. Camera not working, cousin?
Come on, no, I'm actually kind of busy right
now. I think your Wi-Fi.
Are you driving?
Right now, that's something. I didn't think you were going to call me like that.
All right. Cousin BK Crypto is having some technical difficulties.
So
hoping that cousin T Willine joins us at some point. I know he's on the iPad, but
so let's get into it though. We got about 20 people in the room, so let's go ahead and get into the work.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
And what was the title of the show?
Why isn't she interested in Bitcoin? I don't know why she's not interested in Bitcoin. Yeah. I do know. I have some ideas, but go ahead, babe. Just tell them.
So over the time period we've been doing this show, recently, I should say, we've heard a lot of people come to us and say they can't. She won't invest in it, but get on board with it and actually learn what it is and the ins and outs of technology that Bitcoin is. For the most part, I know I'm not big on these alternate coins, but some people are, and that's fine. But I'm more of on Bitcoin, precious metals, just in the day and age we live. Also, they're not interested in precious metals. It's boring. Is it boring?
Finance
Okay.
and investment is dry.
Yep.
I have to skip. Hold on, you guys. I got to skip back to this network.
Okay.
We lost. Types of difficulties today.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to stop us. I'm hoping we're alive now. Somebody give us thumbs up that this isn't choppy or cutting out. I think it's okay.
Okay.
Finance, investments, Bitcoin. I'm noticing a theme where one way or the other, it's requiring you to learn a new skill. And lately, the narratives that go along with this generation are adverse to learning new skills. And I don't know why.
It went off the screen.
They're adverse to learning new skills, and I'm not sure why. And right now, I'm just talking to our community, right? Can't speak for any other woman because I don't know if they're good at finance or Bitcoin or what have you or not. But I do know that they are first in line to pick up the men from this community once they make it somewhere, right? So there is something that they know that our community either isn't picking up on or doesn't want to be involved with. I'm not sure what the situation is there. Finance, investments, Bitcoin, you were talking asset classes, commodities, stocks,
Yes.
market.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring. It's math. It's very mathy, right? If I wanted to be obnoxious, it's very mathy. It goes along with STEM.
Which is a big deal because they have recorded data of especially women and Black women who are no longer in these STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, math, and it's a lot of humanities. You see Black women getting their degrees in, where Bitcoin is technology, it is math, it's very technological, and they might not like that as much.
It's not interesting.
It's not interesting. So, we can go on and on about that, but let's go ahead and let our good brother into the
Cousin, it is
happening?
so good
Can
to
you hear me?
see you. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good.
What's up?
What's happening?
Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry. What's up?
Hey, I can't call it. I'm glad y'all had the show, man. I'm glad y'all finally let some people in. That's cool.
Oh, finally, yeah. That's on her. I asked about it. She said, "No, I can't do it." And I'm like, "All right, well,
I was terrified. I ain't sleep last night or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it ain't that hard now. Y'all the gurus. We just, we sitting in the crowd just listening, trying to get some game.
That's so funny.
So yeah, the topic, I guess, of the evening, but we can go wherever we need to go. Is why is it interesting?
I actually like the topic because I remember telling Aaron on a couple shows ago how I can't get my old lady to get into crypto for nothing. I don't care. She don't want nothing to do with it.
And why? Did she give you a reason?
No. To be honest, you know how we are. I'm not finna go into no rant, but you know how we are. We don't care about no financials and all that stuff. Most of us don't.
So when she sees that you're interested in it, you might be doing well, making things happen. Does that pique her interest a little bit? Like, well, let me see what's going on over here.
Man, I've been fighting her to put money in Cash App for a long time. I got her to put a little bit in, put a little bit in. Every time it go down, she get mad, right? Because we got a little side hustle together. So I kind of make her put it in there with my part of the money. So that, you know, it don't bother her because she's not really spending the cash. It's my cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's then went up. You know, we was going all through the bear market, and every time it had dropped, she'd be like, see, it's down again. I told you this is some bullshit. And I'd be like, put some money in it. She'd be like, no, I ain't put mine in there. So now she's looking at it when it was up to 70K. She's looking at it, she's like, damn, this was, I was like, hey, man, I still can't get her to put no money in it still.
Yeah.
He said, I still can't get her to put no money. I knew that's what was coming. That's why I started laughing.
And you know, man, and the funny thing, I hear what you're saying, like when she see that number, because the number, you know, the number is a number. I always tell her that. But you know, you remember the old days, man, when we was back down fighting to get back up to 1,000 again. So like just to see it make 70K is laughable. We just laugh like, man, y'all don't even remember how it was in the struggle. Well, we was in the struggle back then. Fight, can it break 1,000? Break 1,000. Come on. Oh, it broke 1,000. We was like, yeah. And then now it's
before me.
We're like, it's nothing now. But yeah, I can see somebody new come in and see I put some money in there and it went down because it will. That's what it is. It's Bitcoin. It will go down. It will have those what do you call it? Retracements. The drawbacks, 20% over what 20%, forward 20% retracements, I think in the last 12 months. And Raoul Powell talked about that. And what it is what you see large money coming in and you don't have those 80% retracements anymore. So those are the ones that hurt. Those used to hurt, 80% retracements. I don't know if you were in it yet, but when it hit about 60-something thousand, whatever, the last time, and then it pulled all the way back to about 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got in 2018.
Yeah, that was a hard retracement, man. Because we thought at 60, we was like, oh, we about to go straight to that 100K. And it's like, nah, it just kept going down, just bang, 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 bang. It was like, oh my goodness. We like, and then everybody, the gurus, it was the gurus out there. There's a CME gap around 9,400.
But explain with the CME gap, but don't go too fast because you never know if we have new people listening.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know you feel like you're just talking to cousin, but
yeah, I'm just talking, you know.
But tell them a little bit about the CME gap.
Oh, okay. CME gap. So the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which trades like futures contracts.
Okay.
And what it is they trade Monday through Friday. They close at the end of business on Friday. Yes. Bitcoin continues to trade over the weekend. So if Bitcoin closed at 9,400 and then it opened back up at 10,000 on Monday morning, there's a big gap in the chart right there that always concerns people because there's a retracement because the chart likes to retrace and close that gap. Mm-hmm. So there was a gap way down there at 9,400 that hadn't been closed when you look at the chart. And then there was another gap down there about 4,500. So there was some people who were saying,
and
it may go all the way back to 4,500. And I said,
close that gap.
Close both those gaps and then start to run back up. Mm-hmm. And so, that was a tough time when you seen that retracement because it could have went all the way down to a 90% retracement. And that really shakes people out because they bought 50, 60, 70,000. This thing's dropping all the way back down. But it never touched. It found some support at 15,000 and ran back up. But even right now, as we sit at 60,000, I didn't check what it cost today, that those two gaps still exist. They still exist. If you go check a CME chart, they still exist. So, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. Once it breaks its all-time high, there's no top on the chart, and we'll be shooting for 100,000, I believe. And 100,000, I believe, will be strong resistance. Strong resistance. So this is the fun part of Bitcoin. It's like a roller coaster. Okay. You get on, you go, oh.
Slow your roll.
So go ahead.
That whole dialogue that he just gave y'all is why she's not interested. Right?
Right.
Makes your eyes glaze over. What is the CME gap? What is this? What is that? What is the third? And let's go back, right? We're going to take a little anthropological lesson. So anthropology is the study of human beings, right? And we know, I don't care what the United States says, two genders, right? You have the male biological species, you have the female biological species. Back in the ancient days, men were hunters, so they had to physically go out, and they typically use hunting as a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So they used a form of trauma, because it's very scary to try to kill something that when it realizes you're there to kill it, it now wants to kill you. Where they use a source of trauma in order to propel the young man into manhood, right? Now you're a man. You're going to go out and you're going to hunt for your family, right? That was how the man in the days of antiquity provided. They would provide shelter by putting the shelter together, taking the hide off the animal. And this is important, right? Because history shows you how our minds are wired. So the men did all of the hard work, especially when we talk about 2024. Men really built the infrastructure of society that us women enjoy. And I'm not really sure why the women push back on that. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know any women who built the electrical grid. I don't know a lot of women who do the construction of skyscrapers. I don't know a lot of women. There are a few women in construction. There are a few women firefighters, there's a lot of women police officers. I have noticed that.
Yeah.
Women in the military, but overall, just over the course of time, men have always done the dangerous work. Let's put it that way. Women were gatherers. What we would do is we would go out. We knew pharmacy. What does that mean? It means
slow me down on that one. When you say gatherers, you mean gatherers of like
the spices, flowers. We would gather. We knew the botany then.
You said the hunter and gatherers. So
I meant to say men were hunters, right? They weren't gatherers. They were hunters, strictly hunters. They're out there killing the animal. They used to be able to take the hide and make tents and make shelter, take the bones, make weapons, take the meat, feed their family.
Yeah.
Right? The men did the hard work. The women were more
when you say gathering,
the harvest. That's the women. The women understood botany. They understood, like I said, pharmacy. The word pharmacy comes from the farm, where you utilize botany for medicinal purposes as well as to consume for your nutrition, right? Okay, ladies, what does that mean? It means we're consumers. That's what it means. It means the men produce. Notice I said when he kills that animal, what's wrong?
I thought I saw nothing.
Okay, baby. Yeah. When the men produce, what they do is they have to hunt that animal. They have to kill it. After they kill it, like I said, the hide is now shelter. The bones are now weapons, and they may be part of the shelter. Yeah. The meat is for the family. Yes, the woman is going to cook it and so on and so forth. But the men had to produce this thing in order for you to consume.
Yeah. And it's and the way that you explain it is very interesting, because we watch something like this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show. I don't even know. I don't know what the name of the show is, but it's Andrew Zimmern. What's the show called?
It's called Bizarre Foods.
Bizarre Foods.
That's my favorite show.
So it's a great show. You guys check it out. Bizarre Foods. He goes all around the world and tries different foods. But he went to this village in Africa, and so it's a small village, very nice, small knit community. And what happened was the men would go out. It was on the coast, so they would go out every day in their fishing boats.
Gotcha.
And they would catch the fish. So they'd come back, in the afternoon and bring back the catch. The women were separated.
They would
see what was good,
clean it,
see what was good, and cook it. And then the men would take what was left and take it to the market.
They would take the good part, take it to the market, and what was left, the women would
clean and cook. And
cook.
This was every day. And this is how they lived in this small community. And that's community. That's old school there. They went out, they hunted, and they got all the things from the ocean and brought it back. The women, like she said, clean, cook, take it to the market, flip it, get some money, have dinner, and that's it. Let's run
Right.
it
But
back
the
again.
idea is the consumption.
Yeah.
So now fast forward, when you do the statistics, right, and we talk about the market and we talk about, where the money is in the market. The money for consumption in the market is targeted to women.
Yes.
Right? All of the psychological studies, everything that they do, when you look at outside of maybe a car commercial, tools,
Beer.
right? But even beer is now marketed to women. You'll see women hanging out, having a good time. At the bar, girls' night, right? Always includes alcohol. Even that is targeted to women because the people, who do the psychological study understood antiquity, right? And they understand that your psychological, biological makeup hasn't changed. It hasn't changed in hundreds of years. It has not changed, maybe thousands. So when we start talking about finance,
Yeah.
investment,
I'm waiting. I ain't gonna cut you off.
savings, so on and so forth, that is basically, in a sense, producing.
Yeah, and for consumer products, you can look this back up. This might be an older stat. Women consume a little bit over 80% when it comes to consumer products, right?
Yes.
So that's where
We are the market.
That's where the consumption is coming from.
We are the
right.
market.
So when you have, we don't bang on anybody, but we have to go there. When you have these women say they don't need a man, I got a job, I make all this money, this, that, and the third.
I'm going to talk about that.
But
too.
they're not really great at investing and putting things away to the
Right.
side. What they do is they take a lion's share of their
income, their revenue,
and they spend it on consumer goods.
Right, because their biological makeup is consumption. Now, again, when we talk about finance, investments, commodities, stocks, that is producing. You are taking revenue and you are making it what we call productive. And then at the end, right, when you say, hey, it's time to take profits, you have produced something. And the normal household, right, if everybody was in the household the way it was supposed to be, he would produce and then I would consume. So this is why we have the there's a word I'm looking for.
I don't know.
The juxtaposition between men. Why isn't she interested in Bitcoin? Why isn't she interested in investments? Why isn't she interested in finance? Now, the men, the people, the elite, whoever they are, they know this.
Yeah.
So what they decided to do was find different ways to break the household up. This is not by accident. This is by absolute design. They know that they would get that wealth transfer back from the women. If you also notice, right? And I'm talking about our community. I'm not talking about anything outside the community, although it does apply to outside our community. Women in our community typically make a bit more than men. Why are their opportunities
not always true.
Not always true.
Them stats ain't true.
Get better opportunities.
The numbers don't say that. The average man who makes right around 40-something thousand, woman's a little bit lower.
Just a little bit?
Average across.
I'll take that if my numbers are wrong.
But I know what you're saying is they get more opportunities.
They get more opportunities, so maybe it felt like they make more.
Muted.
So that, what did you say, Cousin T?
I thought I was muted.
No, you're not muted. If you want to say something, I'm sorry.
No,
he said that.
I was just saying that's not true.
He fixed the number.
Yeah.
But we do get more corporate opportunities.
Yes, you do. Yes,
right? We get more corporate opportunities that come with benefits. That's a statistic. And the idea is to find ways to get her to consume because typically men don't.
Yeah. And
bachelors don't consume like that. They just
don't.
Really consume. Right? So if we can break the household up, he's going to continue to produce and she's going to continue to consume. Now, does this go for every single woman? No. But your biological makeup is something that you have to consciously move against in order to not allow that wealth transfer to happen. Right? Okay. Yeah. And this is why we wanted to do the show because I want the women to hear from a woman.
You're not going to hear from no women. You're not going to hear from no women.
I'm going to get the nasty emails and stuff. I don't hear nice things.
And so
can I just add this?
Yes, sir.
Because for me personally, and everybody's different, I know I heard all that rhetoric about womanness. I'm the person that said that we need to get rid of the patriarch because women are selfish. That's the real reason why we're in this problem. It ain't got nothing to do with the hunter gatherers, none of that. It's got
But
to
it
do
does, because that is part of a psychological makeup that goes into a collective
I
consciousness.
mean, I get it, but imagine me saying I can't be successful because I was a slave. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let that mentality stop me. See, that's the difference between women and men. I'm sure
No, but
Gordon
I
could
said
be
that.
like, that's
I
a
said that.
hard
I said you
stop.
have to consciously move against that. I specifically said that.
Okay. All right, cool.
Specifically said that.
I just gonna nip it in the bud. I'm like the doctor that uses a machete. You got that fine little scalpel, you gonna fix them the right way. I'm just gonna cut the cancer off.
Yeah, I feel you. I was going to piggyback on what you said because there's a psychological component to it where we've seen these tests done. Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about it, but women and men prefer to work amongst peers, if you will. And if you look at finance, it's just heavy. It's just men. It's just men. And for the most part, it's white men. So it's a white male dominated workplace. So women will, so what would you say? They will traverse towards a place where they can work with people of their peers. You see a lot of women who are nurses and teachers and things like that, where they can work amongst their peers. And the men are in the financial, you can't even get black men to break into it. It's hard to get black men. If you start going down and seeing stuff on YouTube, it's all white men telling you what's going on with the markets and all that, right?
Yes.
So it's hard for the women to even break into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so seeing that they're so tough, sometimes they choose to go elsewhere.
Yes.
And that could be, what do you call it? That could be gatekeeping there. Gatekeeping. And so, you have to talk about that, but you still can learn about finance on your own at home and, have your own.
Right.
Make sure that if you got that nice job, put a little something away. Make sure you got something for yourself.
Can y'all admit that y'all kind of like a unicorn? Y'all got to.
When you say unicorn, what do you mean?
I mean a husband and a wife that's traveling abroad doing something that probably 99%
just a little bit different.
Black people ain't doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that me personally, the only reason I was saying that I don't want to keep harping on the woman thing, but we was talking about like my old lady. I'm just saying because it's real.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying is real.
And you actually, you're listening to your old man.
You ain't gonna get the email. I am.
I say I'm broke, but I'm doing okay, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm having problems with trying to do things and get everything set up for my whole family. My mama, my sister, my nieces, an old lady. And it's like they all got their little selfish intentions and nobody's thinking about the next generation. We all starting either at the same line or behind the line of the other generations ahead of us. That's why I say I like to hit it with a machete. The women are just selfish. They don't care about nothing but how they feel. Men usually think about our family, our lineage. What can we do to help? That's the big difference. It ain't got nothing to do with hunter-gatherers. It has to do with we just like to make sure that we can help. And women like to me. It's like they doing opera. Me. And it's come on, man, help.
Yes, indeed. So tell them your favorite Bible verse when you said, what is it? You're supposed to leave something?
Oh, an evil man does not leave an inheritance for his children. Hi, Crit Work. Hi, Let Freedom Ring. Thank you so much for joining.
And you could leave just anything, man. And because wealth is what you have. You could leave just a small bit. Right. That's why I say, hey, if you just get a coin a month, which would be about $20 to $30. You keep doing that month over month, I'm telling you, it'll build up and you just leave that to somebody, right? Like we say, think about that grand, you heard your daughter's pregnant or niece is pregnant. Oh, let's start building. Let's start just putting away for that child. Boom, boom,
But
boom,
imagine
boom.
if you started to put away for that child with just the idea that one day a child would come. My 22, 23-year-old, he doesn't have children yet, and we're already saving for his child. So we wanted to consciously parent in order to change the collective consciousness of our progeny, right? It's very conscious work that you have to do when nation building. 2, you have to take an interest in nation building, right? I'm a woman. I have a lot of children. I know some people, I mean, 4 kids may not be a lot to some people. It's a lot of children that you have to raise
It's
to
a-
adulthood and feed and
It's enough.
clothe.
Yeah, it's enough.
And you have to consciously be thinking about not just them, but like you said, what was once 2 people is now 6 people. Those 4 are going to go from 4 people to who knows? They may go to 16, 24. And I'm not just talking about like their children, but I'm talking about their children having children and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
That number is going to constantly multiply, multiply, multiply. So what we want to do is, as we're consciously nation building, we're also training them to nation build.
And
Right? Each generation needs to look at not the next generation because you're there to protect them, but the generation after that. And if every generation took on that zigzaggy appeal,
yeah, and
just
definitely.
imagine how powerful. But these are discussions. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And some people just need to be put on the game to be like,
Yeah, and so and
that's
right
interesting.
and bouncing off of that, if I could ask you, my brother, if you say you had your significant other and you're talking about Bitcoin, can you remember the price that you really first introduced it to her? Because I'm telling you, if she see the number go up and up and up, that will pique her curiosity. Like, oh,
I believe it was 18,000 when I got in, but that don't matter. You
but
know,
so from 17 to 70 doesn't
it
get
don't matter though, because it's been 4 years. Now, if that would have happened in 4 months, that would have been but 4 years later, it's like so much didn't happen. She's like,
It's too
she
much
almost
time.
forgot it. Don't even matter no more.
I got you. I see what you're saying. So you're talking about 17,000 before the last
Right.
time in 21 or
Right.
something?
18, 17, 18, somewhere in there.
Okay, so yeah, that's a long time. So, but still, the price went up, pretty high percentage wise. But it don't even matter because, like you said, so much happened in between. Okay.
So
Okay.
now I want to talk from an angle that's outside of finance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For the women who have a significant other that they actually care about, that they have vested their feelings towards, right? And I'm gonna put y'all on the game. I'm a woman, I've been married 23 years, right? I'm gonna put y'all on the game.
Long time.
Men, they want to talk, right? The side chick has
Oh, so you're going there.
no, but it's the truth, right? The side chick has become the expert in what I like to call supplementing. What does that mean? It means everything you don't feel like doing, side chick she perfects, right? And this isn't just finance, this is whatever your husband's into. And I'm talking about real relationships, and then I'm gonna talk about the surface stuff afterwards. But I'm gonna put some women on the game. Even if you're not interested in Bitcoin, if you're not interested in shop talk, if you're not interested in whatever he's got going on,
Mm-hmm.
you can utilize whatever that thing is as a way to bond,
Yes, you can.
right? Women want to wrap men around their pinky finger. Go on and be interested. Go on and learn everything you need to know about the things that he's into.
Mm-hmm.
And see, hey, cousin Rue, and
What's up,
see if you can't get that man to melt
y'all?
all over your heart. I'm telling y'all some real shit, right? I wasn't, and we have a regular, I mean, I know you talked about the unicorn thing. You're seeing the marriage at 23 years old. So I always equivocate relationships to human development, right? If you're married 3 years, your marriage is going to look like a toddler. It's going to be impatient. You're going to have all these issues and so on and so forth. At 23 years old, and we have a 23-year-old in the house, 23 years old, your marriage should be a fully functioning, healthy adult.
It should.
Right? Should be. Now, if you want to kind of, because y'all listen to all of the poor narratives, let me give y'all some real narratives. right? My husband was in the finance. He was into charts. He's into wedges and bull runs and bear runs. And when I kind of figured out that I could use this as a bonding tool, changed our whole relationship.
Yeah.
Just sitting and listening to him. I told y'all this whole show really became conceived because I used to just sit at his feet and listen. Tell me more, honey.
I mean, you guys know, 15 years ago, 17 years ago, I'm up at 5 a.m. watching all the CNBC stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Squawk on the street, all that
Susie
stuff.
Orman.
Like, we
What's
starting
the
early
guy
in the
that used to
morning.
yell all the time?
Oh, he's coming on at night.
What's his name?
Dang, what is his name?
He used to yell all the time.
I read his book too. And he's always wrong. So whatever he says, you
Kramer?
do the opposite. Yeah, Jim Kramer. You do the
Kramer,
opposite.
yeah, he used to yell all the time.
You do the opposite of what he says. And so I used to watch this stuff all day long, and she would just be like, oh, okay. You know, I went from, watching like ESPN all day, Sports Center, that like I moved over to CNBC, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm going with charts, I'm doing this, I'm looking at my investments. And she kind of would come in and just listen, but it's a lot of talking, she don't really understand.
So I would pick little things that I could, and I would ask him about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get him to talk. That's what, don't the wives be like, you don't talk to me. You never talk to me. Get him to talk. This is what he want to talk about. If he's into sports, I would ask him questions like, I was reading this highlight and this guy had like 5 pick sixes. What is a pick six? He gonna go right into
Lottery.
Find what your man is interested in and learn every single thing you can about it. And he's gonna talk to you till the sun comes up every damn day. You're not gonna get no freaking sleep. It's gonna change sex. It is going to change how y'all operate. I'm giving these women real game because they playing around out here.
It's a family show.
It's a family show, but I'm giving y'all real game, right? How do you think the 4 kids got here? My husband was in the finance, and I literally sat at his feet and listened to everything he said, even though I had no idea what he was talking about.
Optimal word though is listen.
I don't think she get that most women. That's why I say shit.
But it's a conscious thing you have to do. Do I look like somebody who's interested in finance? I wasn't. I didn't know what was going on, but I picked up like, I notice whenever he talks to me, this is what he wants to talk about. And I keep telling him I want him to talk to me. So maybe if I put 2 + 2 together, I might just get 4. Yeah. We haven't stopped talking since. And this is what I'm trying to tell women. If you don't care about the finance and you want him to do the producing, fine. You can sit in the passenger seat and do it with him, but utilize it as a bonding.
They don't want to hear that, Aaron.
Right?
They don't want to hear that.
Wait a minute.
I don't need no man.
Care about their husband.
No man culture.
The women who want to fix their marriages, the women who, I'm telling you, there are women out there who are going to say, I think I'm going to listen to what she's saying because my marriage is on the rocks. I think I'm going to listen to what she's saying because my husband might have a side chick and that bitch listen to everything he says. And that's the part that the women are missing. Now I'm going to tell y'all, and this is a real story. I'm just going to change the names. There was this guy. He was an attorney. He had a beautiful wife. She's absolutely beautiful. We're going to call her Stella. Okay? He was an attorney. He was a diplomat. He traveled all over the world. He did a lot of high-profile cases. Stella was a trophy wife. She was beautiful. He wants to talk about his cases. He wants to talk about the other diplomats coming into New York City. He wants to do shop talk all day long. She ain't having it. She wants hair, nails, gowns, parties, right? That's what she's into. Now, the fella, the lawyer, the attorney, he's got a side chick. We're going to call her Margaret. Okay, let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret's not as pretty as Stella, not by a long shot, but Margaret listens to every single thing he says, everything he talks about. And she sat and she listened to him so much that he put her through law school. That's how interested she was in what he had to say in the cases he had. She used to help him do paperwork. She used to show up when he had court. Of course, he wants his wife to show up to court so he could show off what a great attorney he was. And he was a genius attorney. Margaret ass was in the front row. Right? So afterwards, when they meet up at their little rendezvous, they get to talk all about the case, and she can tell him the things that she kind of saw that he couldn't pay attention to because he's at the bench and yada, yada, yada. He put her through law school. He used to give her money because that's what men do with their side chicks and stuff like that, so on and so forth. Let's go to the end, right? They're old people now. He passes away. Because he was a diplomat, the house isn't theirs, right? The house is kind of given to them.
Yeah, it's like a governor's mansion, or the White
Right.
House. Like once he died, y'all
Right.
out of there.
So Stella moved in with her children, right? Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret's sitting on at least 2, 3, 4 million because she sat and listened to everything he taught her. She sat at his feet. My grandmother told me this story. It's a real story. And one of the things my grandmother, I can tell you, she got burnt real bad early in life. So she wasn't for the men, but she's just like, if somebody has something to teach you, sit at their feet and learn, my granddaughter, right? That's wisdom. And then I started to notice my grandmother's words. So I said, let me sit at my baby's feet and kind of figure out I had no idea what was going on. He used to have me watching, y'all know what Lynn Alden content is like. He had me sitting watching Lynn Alden. And I remember one night, about 11 minutes in, I turned that shit right off. He said, turn it back on. I said, well, baby, I don't understand any of these words. I got my notebook. I'm writing stuff down. I don't know how to pronounce these words, much less spell them. He said, turn it back on. And he sat down next to me, and we watched it all the way through. He said, now play it again. And I had to listen to it again. And Lynn Alden stuff is like an hour and a half. He said, now play it one more time. We sat there for almost 3 hours. And you know what? By the third hour, it was like she went from speaking Mandarin to English. And very slowly, he would pause and he would explain this and pause and explain that. And outside of learning a new skill, the bond that I was creating with my husband, right? So it is beneficial on both ends. And this is the game that the women really need. Y'all need real game. Yeah. Stop listening to that bullshit on the manosphere, on these little podcasts. Y'all are talking to single people. What can a single person tell you about marriage?
And
nothing.
And because it's, and I just wanted to pop in there and I see what you guys say, because it's like a thing where people like to sit on a weekend, right? Netflix and binge and watch some different shows. We take it to a level where we're going to watch some informative shows, hour over hour, and talk about it. And so you can take your time and make it productive.
Right.
And this is what we try to do. We try to do it with the children, make some productive time. Of course, you got to have a little kickback. Now,
here's
time.
The thing, though. Hold on a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the children only follow the lead of the mother. If I don't listen to what he's talking about, you think Reggie going to be interested? You think Sean going to want, well, mom ain't even into it. And that's your buddy. We have a buddy system here. And that's your buddy.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? But when the children see me at his feet listening and learning, now here they come. If mom is listening to what he's saying, then it must be something important, because the children do take the mother's lead even when they are male children.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I don't think that you get that this is considered.
He said, I don't think that you
abuse. For real, because you got to understand you're a unicorn. You have to. This is abuse for a man in 2024. Now, just let me get this out. In 2024, if I make my woman listen to something 3 different times, I promise
it was with
you,
my consent.
Hold on, please, hold on. This ain't funny. Come on, hear me out. This is abuse.
I get it.
No,
100%.
you don't get it because you keep stopping me. This is abuse. I could go to jail for this.
Hold on, T. Will.
Oh no!
Like even that she's willing to. Even that she's willing to. He might have. You know what I mean? Made, quote unquote, made her. But
no. She wanted to. She wanted to.
Right.
It was with my consent. Right, because he was serious, right? He wasn't playing, he wasn't joking. He said, no, turn it back on. Right? And basically, like, turn it back on because it's good for you. Right? I want to know, do you trust the man that you're with? And here's the thing, T. Will Line. You keep calling me a unicorn. I want to know where the unicorns at when all of these bad narratives are spilling out and affecting everybody who listen to it. Where they at? I don't hear them talking.
I mean, I don't got no problem with you. I salute y'all.
No, I mean, I'm
everything
saying
y'all got going on, but I'm
at to
conscious enough
fight
to
against
realize
bad
that
narratives. Where are they?
I'm just conscious enough to realize, and I got family members, and I'm sure Rue and all the other men in the audience understand that it don't work like this. It ain't that we don't want it to, it just don't.
Right, and the system is set up so it's like, okay, the wife is more incentivized to just take that alimony and that child support and just walk away. So
This is true.
That's true. That's the truth.
Yeah. So, well, boy, you gotta.
I'm frustrated because I hear the poor narratives, but I don't hear the other side of the poor narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got the woman who says, if you ask 10 women and she said, I would rather the child support than the man be in my child's life, where are the 10 women who be like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
To be honest, I don't even really think that's
support over the father.
I think I'd rather be free and do what I want to do and get child support than live under his rules. I think that's more of it. Now, it ain't just forget the man. It's like the man's got actual, he actually wants to uplift the family, and I ain't with all that. I'm about me. I had your babies. I'm about me now. I'm getting old. You only live once. All these cliches they like to say.
And then all of modern culture is like I don't need no man, no scrubs, can you pay my bills, like color purple, like the whole black male image is just like.
And my old lady don't work. I'll pay for everything.
I'm coming to live with you. No, I'm just
real.
My baby be working me. We got businesses. We got the show.
Yeah, we got all that. And look, check this out. My mama is a nurse. She been a nurse for 50, 60 years, right? My mama she worked for the highest nursing agency in Missouri, in St. Louis. She didn't work with George W. Bush's cousin. She took care of him because he lived here. She didn't work with the owner of the St. Louis Rams. She took care of him because she worked here, or he lived here. And I tried to get her to start her own business before all this home health care shit started. I was like, come on, Mom, we need to set this up. We can make this happen, You working for all these people. You need to get all this money, and let's start doing it for the family. Oh, no, we can't do that. Ain't going to never happen. What? Oh, no, I'm just trying to work and hurry up and retire and get this. A couple years later, home health care comes out. Nobody's got no experience. None of that. They got way less than what she had, and I got a cousin that don't know nothing. She got like 5, 6 clients, and she running people. I'm like, my mama just squandered all the wealth for all her grandchildren. This what the women do. This is what I'm saying. It just is what it is. I still love her. That's my mama.
This is true.
That's the default.
But I guess my mindset is, though, that if there's one of me, there has to be 20 of me. I'm not saying there's 2 million of me, but if there's one of me, there has to be 20 of me. There has to be 200 of me. There has to be 2,000. And we're right. Where are we? We're at home doing what our husbands are asking us to do.
Those 200 are at home doing what their husbands asking them to do. They ain't being vocal like that,
Yeah, I'm always a big, because I understand the game, man. We're talking to younger people as we try to get this thing going, right? We're talking younger people. I was a big fan of finding your wife at a very young age, right? While you were in high school, college, and get married at a young age. I know a lot of people like to go sow their
wild oats.
Yeah, but I say, man, shut that down, man.
I had a high body count.
Yeah, and go ahead and get that started early with somebody that you can build with, and then you guys can build with each other. And that's what I was a fan of. But the thing is, if you miss that window, then
it's hard as hell.
Yeah, now it's hard.
Right. I'm not telling you find a 43-year-old who's gonna have the ideas that we have, right?
That's gonna be tough.
This has been a long journey with him, but if we can catch these young ladies right? The young ladies. I watched this thing where, you know, he go around, he asked the body counts, right?
Oh my goodness, not this.
But no, I don't. He was in some part of Florida, like
I think it's in Miami.
no, he wasn't in Miami. That was the high body counts. Them girls, they for the
Oh
streets.
yeah,
He was in like the suburban part of Florida, and like two of them were like, we've never been with anybody. And they were like 19 years old. The one was like, I want to save it for my husband. I don't know where he's at. He needs to hurry up because I'm curious. But
that's shocking.
you know, she was like, one was like, I've only been with one person. She was like 22, 23. The other one was like, I'm a virgin. I have a promise ring on. The other one was like, I'm waiting for my husband. And I do believe it's something that he should have. They're out there, but I think that the single women keep women single. Right? There's no
Oh yeah.
no shade to any of the single women listening to this, but you do have a group of women out there who they're like the bad apples in the barrel. They're gonna spoil the good apples. So again, I hear all the bad narratives. I don't know how to get in on those conversations. You know, when I hear women say, I
Understand.
don't want to get married and have somebody telling me what to do all the time, my question is, what is he asking you to do? You've never
What you
been
don't
married
want to
before.
do.
What is asking you to do? But what is he? You've never been married before. What's he asking you to do that you don't want to do?
And you know, the funny thing is, and I'm just saying, because we've been around and traveled different places, there is no like that narrative doesn't exist in these other countries because
Hell no.
you can't really be a feminist in a third world country. You know, so you can't say
Ain't
I
no
can
room
take
for
care of
it.
myself. There's no room for it. Here in Mexico, you see abject poverty. And if you aren't with a man, you will struggle. You will struggle until the day you die. And so you have to have a man. It's necessary for survival at this point. Whether you like him or not, you have to have him. You have to have him around. You have to have him around for security, protection in these dangerous streets and roads. You have small children. You gotta
Just
have them. You
getting
gotta have,
water
you gotta
home.
have them go home. Yeah, just carrying water to the house.
Water home.
Just you know, taking care of the things around the house. It's a necessity to have a man in these different types of countries, whether you like the man or not, whether he treats you right
Not
or
whether you
not.
like
Like,
him.
I mean, I just because you see what it is. But just to get by day to day, you have to have a man in your household. Maybe it could be your son if you grow him up. You got the son. We can, you know,
Son husband.
son husbands. You know, son husbands. They're everywhere in the world, not just the United States. And so, you know, you need a man to get through this stuff. You know, I don't want to digress too much because
But they are
But
poor
see,
men. They're
that's a
poor
good.
men. Go ahead, Ruth.
That's a good point. So I think in America you don't because of the welfare system. And there's another point that they always like I think of is that like a lot of black women don't even love their blackness. You know what I mean? So like how can they respect the black man when like I've heard different people say I didn't even want to have a black baby. I wanted a light skin or you know what I'm saying? Like that they didn't want to marry black men to have black babies. Like because they don't like their blackness. You know what I mean? Like and that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of cultures, you know, you got like colorism in like Latino cultures too, but I think that's a lot of the hate that black men get as well from black women.
Yeah, because the rule, you know, because of that, I would just say this for black women, that love of their color has to be cultivated at a very young age.
Oh,
you know, we watch stuff about neuroscientists, psychology.
You talking about theta?
Yeah, so we're talking about Dr. Bruce Lipton, and y'all check him out, man. He gives a good rundown. But he talks about children from age of birth to 7 years old. They're in what's called a theta wave.
Oh, yeah.
This is the wave where they learn, and this is where it could be cultivated that, you know, you're beautiful, you're black, your hair is beautiful, your skin's beautiful, everything's beautiful about you. And that theta wave, and that really is, as he says, the foundation for the rest of their lives. So whatever a child may have learned in theta from 0 to 7 really builds the foundation of their lives. And if it was something that was wrong, if the parents were mean to you, didn't cultivate your beauty and all this stuff, then you spend the rest of your life
Dealing with it.
breaking it down and trying to get
Dealing
back
with
to a baseline.
Yeah.
So, it's always important to remember that children 0 to 7
But
are
that's
intended.
nation building, and
Yeah.
that's conscious nation building.
So always tell your little girl she's beautiful. You're the most
But your
beautiful
little
girl in the
boys
world.
have to be handsome. You don't call them blackie, and you don't call them all sorts nigga, and
Mm.
you just like your damn daddy. You don't
Yeah.
say stuff like that.
Yeah, you can leave all that
And
alone.
one of the other things, and that's why I said if I could get my hands in the right audience, and I don't know how to do it, I'll figure it out, I guess. Nation building. As a woman, too many of y'all are kicking out children for the sake of kicking children out with no thought or no objective of consciously nation building these children. And
It's
what happens?
selfish. That's why I'm saying you don't get it, because like Ruth said, I don't want to make this no black woman bash and show. How many Bitcoin do I need to get a black woman to be what she's supposed to be? Do I need 100 of them, 1,000 of them? But what I was saying was, but for her,
right.
a woman will have a baby with a man that she don't really even like that, just because she knows she about to get a lot of help from this. See, that's why I'm saying you're a unicorn. You're not really getting what's going on no more. She ain't even got to like you. Y'all could have just been attracted. I like how she looks. She like how I look. We had a baby. I did some stupid stuff, whatever. And now she like, I just didn't came up. My life just got a whole bunch easier.
I was watching some YouTube where this woman was like, she was going with this guy because he's autistic and she could just get whatever she wanted out of him. And of course it was, it was a black woman. So it's like,
okay.
Yeah, that's tough, right there.
That's where we are right now, where it's like women like under 30, like a lot of their stuff is just like, okay, I just want to get what I want. All I want to do is like, what is a man spending on me? Y'all saw the whole thing where it's like girls didn't even want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Like, it's crazy now.
And to me, that's concerning because I'm not on the dating market, but I do have 4 sons who are coming up and coming through the dating market, and I'm concerned as who they will run into, right? And so I have a good friend. So I have a good friend I grew up with and everything, and we were in the military together. And he has a daughter a little bit younger than my son. And he called me and he told me about how he didn't have much time with her, right? Because him and his mother were separated. And he just said, I talked to him and he said, she's just so, I don't know what's a good word to use, man, fast mouth, fast lip with him.
Slick
mouth with him as her father. And he said, I wouldn't even want to introduce my daughter to your son.
And he liked Sean a lot.
Yeah, because
he grew up with Sean.
Yeah,
he watched
he grew
Sean
up
grow
with
up.
Sean,
and he was thinking like, that's who I would want.
Yeah, and I said, introduce him. And he's like, no, I wouldn't even do it. And I was like, dang, it's like that out here.
He said, I love you too much to do that.
And you know what? That's crazy, because if I don't know these people, but 9 times out of 10, if you would have asked her mama, she'd have set that up. See how that man said, no, I ain't gonna do it like that, boy.
Yup, facts.
I've already adopted a whole Mexican family. I think I'm good, right?
Yeah,
that's my baby, though. I can't say that. That's my baby. I love her so much.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? People say marriage is boring, right? So all of the anecdotal point of views. Hi, Michelle, sweetheart. I did see you come in the room. I want to say hello. I didn't get to say hi to Shook Focus Digital. Thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna read your comments in just a minute, so Cousin T and Cousin Rue can chat with y'all. But all of that is real sensational, right? When you hear the woman tell you, "I would rather the child support check than the nigga that I had the baby with." And excuse me for saying that, but that's just how they talk. That's how they talk, right? And the stories that you're telling. Y'all would think that our marriage was boring as hell. And it's not that it's boring, because I hear a lot of people tell us that. Y'all marriage is boring, so it's fine. It's not boring. It's peaceful. Right. And y'all don't know what peace looks like, so you call it boring. And it doesn't make for a good show. It really doesn't. Right? If we had a reality show, y'all would be bored, because you know what we would be sitting around doing? What did we do yesterday afternoon for 2 hours with our little planners?
Oh, work for our micro for the week, right?
Tell them what we did for 2 hours yesterday. It's
Yeah.
how boring we are.
Yeah, we went over our goals, our micro goals for the week because it was Sunday. So we're getting ready for Monday. We have micro goals because we do the 12-week year. So each week, each week is 4.5 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
So each week works as a month, really.
Yeah.
Right? And we're accountability partners. So, baby, I got this done and I got this done. And he says, oh, sweetheart, I'm so proud of you. Yes, you did so great. And I thank you so much for waking me up because I'm having trouble waking up at 3:30, right? Baby's getting me up early so I can have a more
this all is
productive
going
day.
on at 4 a.m.
And he says, oh, Aaron, and thank you so much for, reminding me how many laps I got to do around the track and yada. It's boring as hell as far as other people feel.
Yeah,
right? It doesn't make for good content. It doesn't make for platform shows. It doesn't make for all of the things that make money. And I'm trying to tell y'all something, right? With all of these trifling ass heifers, let's just call it what it is, right? That's sensational. That makes money. That brings views. That gets clicks. That allows us to get our sponsors to get their ads seen. Understand what I'm saying? If Simon and I had a reality show, we'd have 5 viewers.
Well, you know
and
what?
maybe none towards the end because y'all not doing anything.
A lot of the women in our culture, they really want that like thug life, or a guy with that thug edge, and that's like that to them is exciting. But at the end of the day, if your husband locked up, I mean, that's gonna be a little difficult, right?
Guys, I know you guys.
But I'm just saying they're not going to push a healthy marriage on the platform to get that narrative out there to the young ladies, or to at least fix the narrative to the single women who don't understand that. It's not something that's going to get pushed to them, right?
How long are we gonna blame these people for our shortfalls? I mean, this is the easiest life has ever been right now today.
Because it's something that works.
I mean, yes. But that wasn't the question. My question was, how long are we gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe when we have more information at the tip of our fingers than we ever have in human history? At what point do we say, hey man, something ain't right, we need most of us that's trying to do right need to do what y'all do. We just need to get the hell away, separate ourselves, and try to build up from there, because the majority just don't care. And we're getting away from finance is what I really want to talk about, but the majority just don't care. It is what it is. And you'll go crazy trying to fight it.
It's hard to fight that programming.
That's a good point that you said. Yeah, you got to separate a little bit, because once you separate and you're in a different, I guess, ecosystem, you start to notice that whatever people say was a problem, you don't have to deal with that problem every day, right? You see people who talk about white supremacy and all this stuff and this, that, and then I haven't seen a white person in I don't know, 9-10 months. So white people aren't giving me a hard time on my day-to-day life, and like you said, if you separate yourself, you can kind of step back and see that, okay, we can't blame these people anymore because we over here with these people, and these people living, we living, and
because we're not of the place.
Yeah, we're not.
You don't have a dog in that fight. You just do what you do. But what I was saying was, if that programming works, why can't this programming work? That's what I'm asking. If a group of women could see the actual reality of a peaceful, not boring. I hate when people say that my marriage is boring, and I'll be wanting to curse people out. It's peaceful. It's not boring. And you don't know what peace looks like, so you think it's boring, right? And you don't understand that the drama that you deal with from day to day is toxic. It's going to kill you one day, right? 2, it's the reality. I talk to y'all all the time. Like, the actual reality of this thing is the young ladies want high value men. What the young ladies don't know is that high value men have very specific expectations and standards. So for those of y'all out there, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. He gonna be telling your ass what to do because he bankrolling it.
But we don't tell them much or nothing. That's what I don't get. I don't know. I know a couple guys that got their own business because I have a little business circle and we all got the same problem. All of us. We don't ask our women to do much. You know. Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm sitting at the office.
Don't get yourself in trouble now.
My old lady,
You know,
she didn't already
take the
left for
phone
the
up.
day. She didn't already left for the day. I'm at the office, right? I didn't buy her. Look at this. I done got her all this. A business. I done gave her her own business. Look.
You gave me a business.
That's the logo. That's the business, right? I got $40,000 worth of equipment in her.
Woo!
I can tell.
You know what she ain't trying to do? You know she ain't here right now. I get here about 6 in the morning. I leave here about 11 every night. I got my own business, what I do for me.
Yeah, you did tell us that.
That's some, you can do it at my leisure. I do it when I want. I don't care about none of that. And you know what I got to do? Accept it. You know why? Cause she love me for real. I ain't saying she don't.
Yes, no.
But that's what comes with it, though. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you think. That's life.
Yeah, it is.
I can't get an audience with the women though. They don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, you're different.
They don't want to talk to me. But I would tell them the real game.
But you know what? At the same time, too, y'all, I think they're scared that they kind of don't want things to work out. Like, I really think at the same, like for real, at the same time, I think they will think, okay, then that's boring. Then, like, what if things work out? You know what I mean? Like, I think I think there's a little bit of that. What is that called? I forget the name for it. Like, I can't. There's like a clinical term for it, but
Okay.
yeah, like I think they don't even want. I don't think they want things to work out.
Well, you
Because
Like they're scared of what that would look like.
can't get into that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like that psychology, I listen to the narratives.
Right.
And the reason why I don't understand them is because I live these narratives and that's not true. I've known married people, that's not true. Right? Like you guys have all these talking points that are so far from the truth. And I want to know who told you that. And when you find out who told you those, is she married? No. How long has she been married? She's never been married. So why are y'all getting narratives of marriage from people who've never been married?
Yeah.
That's like me asking you, what was it like to go to OSU? How would you know? You never went. Oh, it was terrible, Aaron. It's terrible there at OSU. The food's nasty. The this, the that, the third. But you didn't go to OSU.
Well, I will tell you this. I think one of the best things about our marriage is a young marriage, starting at 22, 23.
So imprinting, that is important.
And
I've only had one imprint.
Being away from your family, right? Where the family's not picking away, they got something to say about him. They got something to say about her.
But the friends be worse than the
friends
family.
are there. And, if you can get away from your family and just kind of start to build your own family and, keep them a little at bay, is what I say, at bay. They come visit and do all this stuff, but they're not just at your house, 5 times a week. Because that really will beat up your marriage, because all of a sudden, somebody say, it just takes from my mom to say that you ain't holding the baby right, and then it just goes right there. That's right there. It's off the rails.
Yep. That's real talk.
And I'm sorry, man, I'm out here. So
it takes for your sister to be like, I like the other one better.
Yeah, see, it just goes off the rails. So you got to separate yourself sometimes, isolate yourself in the cocoon.
The bubble, the cocoon.
The cocoon, as Zoe Williams says, the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Zoe Williams. And you guys build, on your own right there. And once you build up how you want to raise your family, then maybe you can start having your family now get more involved. But man, family will tear up your relationship, especially at a young age, because they have very high influence over you. You 23, 24, you just got married. Yes, your family has high influence over you. Fast forward 20 years, They can say whatever they want, man. Like, man, I ain't listening to them. Even if they got some ass, like, man, I know what I'm doing. Right.
But the idea is what T. Willon is saying. He's saying, regardless of the programming, how long do we allow poor programming to encourage
Right.
our bad behavior?
Well,
And what I'm saying is, if that poor programming can work, can good programming clean up some of the mess for some of the people? I'm not saying we can save everybody. We know that's not true. It's like Bitcoin, right?
Right. Well,
But
I
Well, I
think
gave you some
solid
listen, but
Bitcoin
you didn't want to
community.
hear it.
if
Say
we
that
can
again.
start getting control over our own image, like our image is in the hands of so many other people than us truly, you know what I mean? And that's no slight on them, but that's the way it is. So like if we can start controlling our image, we can start pushing things out that support and help us.
yeah, and it took a while. It took a while, as you see. They had the control over the black male image for so many decades, and it's just now getting to the point where we get some.
Your
traction.
PR and marketer, he's doing a great job.
We getting a little. We getting a little
He done
traction.
cleaned it up.
And they got the statistics out there that black men are the most
Active
fathers
in the household.
So we getting traction there. There's getting lower rates of incarceration of black males.
Yes.
So we getting a little traction there. Like, okay, we're not just the criminals of the community.
But did you hear the stats of how many black men have custody of their children?
Yes, black men having
That's
custody of
crazy,
their
that
children.
number. It's crazy.
And so we're getting some traction as black men. And so we got to get some traction with the black women because I think they lost it and it went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And now everything looks bad.
Somebody said it in the chat. I'm going to read the chat here, but.
Are you sexy reds and all that? We don't want.
Well, she from my city.
That's what I heard.
We know.
We got a whole bunch of them.
Clean that up.
You said we got a whole bunch of
Go
them.
to jail. You can't. That's what I was saying. You can't tell these women nothing. You
Got a
want to
whole
go to jail. I've worked too hard my whole life
to
to just be, just for trying to be right. Take away everything I've earned just for trying to be right. So at some point you got to say, all right, you got it. You got it. I don't really like it, but I've been grinding for 20 years. I mean, I remember working 86 days in a row. I documented it on Facebook. Every day I posted. I'm a lineman. I climb poles. I jump fences. I cut trees. I do physical, hard labor every day, building fiber optics every day. And I ain't talking about bringing it to your house. I'm talking about stringing it on the pole so you can get it to your house. That's what I do. And I'm not finna give that up to try to control a woman.
Right.
I just got to play the game how it go. I told women, that's why I say we got to get rid of the matriarchy. I'm the doctor with the machete. Let's cut the cancer off. I'm not going to try to pick it because it's going to take us too long.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I want to jump in there and just say, not to divert the conversation, but thank you for doing that blue collar work because I'm always about my blue collar workers who build the infrastructure of the country. And people like to dismiss us. I was a blue collar worker for many, many years. So I always got love for my blue collar workers, no matter what they do. When I see them, I salute them. Even here in Mexico, back in the day, it was like we had, a camaraderie amongst us, the blue collar workers, man. So I love to see blue collar workers. And I know it's hard work, man. And I
love it, man. I ain't going to lie. I love it.
He did love it.
But
as his wife, I used to go to the firehouse almost every tour I could. Mm-hmm. I remember one of the wives was like, "Why you up there all the time?" I didn't know if he wasn't going to come home that night.
Yeah, and
when he joined, they just lost this brand new firefighter in a fire. So you can only imagine how that made me feel. 15 years.
Yeah, okay.
He worked as a firefighter. So I've been to every single firehouse he worked at. I went there every single tour because I just never knew, like, I don't have to go tonight to go see him. I don't have to go tonight to go see him. And the anxiety would start to eat at me. I said, he's just down the street. He was literally down the street, like within walking distance.
And that ain't unicorn?
Yeah.
No, other wives used to go. Other wives, OG wives, they wasn't going, right? You've been there 22 years. She ain't going to visit you, right? And they live far out in the country and stuff. The young wives used to go from the 107.
The young white wives used to come.
Of course.
Let
We
me
talking about this stuff.
white wives.
Right.
I'm just telling you, the white guys' wives would come and bring a pie and all this stuff.
I never brought you food though.
But
I didn't know to do
You
that.
see, even now, she was caping for the other women. Even though I said, you see how you're a unicorn? Now she brought up all these white women. And
He
I knew what she was
did.
talking
I said
about.
the other wives would go.
Yeah.
The OG wives, they
But
wasn't.
I already knew what they was.
But the other young wives, they was going.
and you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you love it, man. I would have still did it. I just took on too many injuries, man, and I had to get up out of there before the game killed me. Because it was looking like it was gonna go that way.
Yeah, it was a lot of
get it.
beating up people, because he was also a paramedic.
Yeah, so it was getting ugly.
Everybody overweight in Cincinnati. So, but yeah, I used to go up there because I didn't know, and I felt better, right? Like, go home now, right? I'm okay. Go home. I can go home. I can sleep, right? I can sleep. I got the kids. I can put them down. I can go to sleep. But if I had an audience of young ladies that I could sit and talk to, that
They
is
gonna
what
dog you out.
triple OGs.
Yeah. Yep.
They gonna
You
dog
already
you
know.
out.
Override
You
wisdom,
will. You already
right?
know.
You a pick me.
Override wisdom.
You a lame. Your husband is your slave master. That's just what it is now.
Mhm.
It ain't right. I
Preach,
don't
What type
brother.
of significant beneficial outcomes do I enjoy that you also enjoy? I would want to know that question.
You know the biggest thing I get from y'all as a couple?
Mhm.
Y'all care about y'all kids. Y'all care about generational wealth. Y'all care about trying to make sure that y'all life wasn't just here to that's why I said they selfish. I can see in you that you really don't care about living as much as you care about living for your children. A lot of people, a lot of women, men too, it's a lot of us too. I'm not gonna let them run away. But most men want to see their children do better than them. Most women want to see them do better than everybody else. That's just what it is. We can't stop
Facts.
skirting the truth. We can't keep skirting the truth.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, I've seen a lot of studies in what you say about men wanting to see their sons do better.
Yeah.
Women kind of, boy, when they say single, women keep women single, it's generational too.
It is also
It's not
generational.
always just,
But that's what I'm
it's
saying is that they
generational.
don't have the good programming. They don't have the good narratives.
They don't.
And I'm heavy on that. All of his friends are married in healthy relationships. You don't hear a peep from this group. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's because but I'm sure,
Nina
I'm
been
trying to
married.
keep cutting you off, but I'm sure you got some family members that think you are lame, that think you ain't this, that think you ain't that. We all do.
Yeah.
So you got a circle.
Yeah.
We got a
They don't have
circle.
no husband. So it don't matter to me.
Got it.
But are they the majority or the minority?
They're
the
a
majority in
minority,
my family. In my family, they're the majority.
They're a minority in my family.
Right. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we both came from 2-parent households. That helps. All of the children that I birthed, that's why I say we're not a blended family. I got hella flack for that. They were like, don't be on there talking about you not a blended family. I said, if y'all could get pat on the back for being single women on Father's Day, I could get my little kudos for not being a blended family. I gave my husband 4 sons. To me, that's the highest honor.
Yeah.
Men want sons. Not to say he wouldn't have, not wanted his daughter. I'm not saying that. I gave him 4 sons. Right? We got
You saying that you not even
basketball
noticing
team.
that's not a badge of honor in 2024.
Right.
Even though we
I
understand
had myself
it is.
on the back. I had to squeeze them babies out.
I salute you. It is, but I'm saying in 2024, that is not a badge of honor. You a baby bag or whatever they call them. It ain't me.
I'd have gave my
Hands up,
baby
don't shoot.
3 more
That ain't
kids
me.
if I could have, but I'm too old now. But let's Freedom Ring said when it comes to investing, many don't want to risk their money, especially women. The side chick was equally yoked. Should Focus Digital said, I saluted at the wrong time. My only side chick is crypto. God.
Smart man.
Courtney, hi, sweetheart. I must have missed you sneaking in the room. She said, brother's close to Detroit. He was on some pimp bottom chick stuff. That's funny. Let Freedom Ring said Aaron is special. Thank you, Let Freedom Ring. Bitcoiners are part of the 10% that want to build something for that next generation. And I want to get more women nation building minded, right? Like, let's get into the nation building.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
put the fashion away. Let's put the fucking nails away. Excuse my language. Put the hair away. Wear it, right? Look
So-
great in it, but let's talk about something that is crucial.
Just an interim, I'm just saying, because you talk about nation building. Like I said, time and time again, I go on YouTube, man. I get lost in YouTube like we all do. And I find people who want to get off the grid.
Yes.
And they're always white people. But I definitely watch the videos to see what's up. What's up getting off the grid? How does getting off the grid look? And it's always a young white guy with a young white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. And they out there chopping wood and baling hay and all this crazy
She be
stuff.
having on booty shorts.
And I'm like, I say, this is nation building, but how y'all got that going on? We can't get it going at all. But I cannot talk my woman into baling hay.
No.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I can't get that. I can't get that far, man. And I said, man, they be out there. She tossing the hay things.
But they be chopping wood. They be building the house out of clay.
Yeah, she going out there to the chicken coop, getting the eggs, making some breakfast in the morning. I'm like, man, it's crazy.
Now I will shout out Bam Hardrick and his wife.
They off the grid.
Have a beautiful land. They're off the grid. They have chickens, ducks. They do the eggs. CC do all of that stuff.
Duck eggs? I love duck eggs.
I don't know about duck eggs, but I know she does the chicken eggs. But they like raise the livestock. CC does all of that. She's a real pharmacist. So she's got the lamb. She knows her plants. She knows her botany. She does solves. She does, shout out to CC Hardrick. That's my homie. But she's got the nation building in her. The children are out there with her. She's teaching them real pharmacy, not the PH pharmacy, but the F pharmacy, FARM.
Yeah, and then when you watch these things, sometimes you get people like you talking like a singular family off the grid building like that. And then you get multiple families building off the grid where, you know, people are assigned jobs. It's like, okay.
But not black people.
You big and strong, you're going to chop wood. You know, you over here, you're a woman, you're going to cook, you're going to teach the kids.
You can
do the
so
gardening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a small community, you were assigned jobs. Mm-hmm. Where in this large community in the United States, everybody say, well, you can be whatever you want to be, no matter that there's a shortage. But
that's the selfishness that T. Willine keep. That's what he keep repeating, right? Is that instead of you doing what we need done, you want to do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's a shortage.
But at the same time, I have to say I kind of get it. This is what I had to tell my mama. At one point in time, men got to do everything they wanted, and women had to sit back and just take it.
Oh, so it turned.
And we have come to a complete circle around now to where women can do whatever they want, and men just have to sit back and take it for the most part.
Right. And
so I understand how it switched.
Yeah, but when you got those, you know, those outliers, those few special men who could pop out and be, as they call, high value men, then those men get to pick, and all the other women get upset, like, hey, why he didn't pick me?
But the thing is, you are not qualified to be the wife or even the girlfriend of a high value man because you don't understand the expectations and the standards of that man. You're not willing to do what it takes to get it done. And I want to talk to these young girls about what it's like to be with a high value man. He's got expectations. He wants your ass up at 3:30 in the morning. We have businesses to run. He just told you he works from what time? 6 a.m. to 11?
Yeah, but I would have to leave my old lady if I stood on my principles.
I understand that.
No choice but to leave her.
I understand that. Simon has 2 businesses in addition to our podcast. Yeah. I work a 9 to 5 as well. This is what we got to do. Y'all see the logo. If you go on Facebook, I'm the face of his brand. There's expectations and standards that need to be met.
And just for the people, I never would suggest that somebody leave the break up a family.
No,
matter
I
what.
wouldn't
So
want that.
I
No.
always want to try to keep Black families together
Always.
at all costs. if we
Absolutely.
can, at all
Yes.
costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm also making a statement for the young ladies who think they're going to get a 6-figure value guy who's built his business from the ground up, and you think you're going to squander his funds. No, ma'am, you're not. No, ma'am, you're not.
But
So,
if you look
and
at
that's what I'm
somebody-
saying, is the reality that's not being given out there. And it needs to be given by a woman, right? They danced on Kevin Samuel's grave when he died, and they thought that the talking points would die with him. And the problem is that a lot of his talking points, it exists. It just is that way, right? It's not fair. It's not great. It's not right. It just is. But I told a young lady, and we had a group reunion thing, and one of the women there gave me hell the entire week. I made my husband a damn sandwich, and I triggered her to high hell, right? It turned into my codependency on my husband is toxic. She just started to vomit on me emotionally. I had to stand there and take it because I didn't want to embarrass my husband in front of his friends. 1. 2, the New York in me was like, "Would your dad be proud of you? Probably not. Is your husband gonna be proud of you? Probably not." So just be graceful about this encounter.
that part of the New York in you didn't, the New York in
Man,
you didn't.
go
I
like
didn't
on
take
some.
out those ears.
I was ready. I was ready. I said, "I'm sick of you." Right? My son had to get involved. She said to me, "You're just too involved in everything he has going on. I don't understand why he couldn't just get up and get his own sandwich." And I'm like, it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He was hungry. It's an Airbnb. We're not at home. I don't have nothing to feed him until we get to dinner tonight or whatever. I make him the sandwich. I cut it up like I do. I hand it to him, and she just went off on me.
Let's see.
Like,
The point
it was
right
like I
there.
made a sandwich for her husband in
That's the
lingerie.
point
That's
right
how
there.
off she went. So finally, she just kind of says to me, she goes, "You're too involved in everything he has going on." So my son now, Sean Rue, you know Sean, he goes, "Do you want my mom to like get an apartment and just visit us every other weekend? Like, what exactly is it that you want her to do?"
Can I
Good for
pause?
him. Good for
Can I
him.
pause for a second?
Peanut butter jelly.
Because she's saying I'm too involved in everything.
I
She's
asked
too
him
involved
for
in everything I got going on. But the only thing I got going on is our family. So
Right.
how can you be too involved?
Because
in
I
their
asked
family?
you,
said,
I knew you
got-
were hungry.
got
I knew he
something
was
else going
hungry.
on.
Like I could tell he's hungry.
Yeah, I
And I
was
kept
hungry.
asking him, like,
I was
"Baby, are
hungry.
you sure?" And he's like, "You know what? Can you make me a sandwich?" Yes, I'm asking you, are you hungry? I go make the sandwich, cut the shit like he's Tino, and I think that's what set her off.
It's a triangle. You know them triangles.
Yeah, I cut it like I would for Tino, and she went off on me. I'm toxic. Our codependency is toxic. You're too involved in everything she has going on, and you're a pick me, and da 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 da. And Kevin Samuel's this, and she was going off on what Kevin Samuel said. I
Wow.
don't know how we got into the conversation.
She just brought him in. Just randomly.
I'm having flashbacks.
So first of all,
So-
like the nerve of somebody like that to be involved in somebody else's relationship.
But wait, she's married, right? She married to his friend,
Oh.
but they live different.
Man,
So they live separate. She's got the mistress suite. He's got the master suite. They come together when they come together. They got their own car. You know, they live different. They're very different. They got their own lives. They live very different. So our little co-mingle, co-gel, Siamese twin thing. Oh God, she brought that up because we always say we're Siamese twins,
Yeah,
joined
she
at the
did.
heart.
Yeah,
she
she
brought
did.
that up.
And to be fair, all this time later, they're no longer together.
But still,
yep. Got him.
Longer together.
I was just standing there like, did you? Oh, this is what really set her off after that whole rant. I was like, did you want to make him the sandwich? Is that what I'm missing? She got so mad.
Nice. Very
And
nice.
so let me ask you.
I was serious though. I couldn't figure out what triggered her.
So let me ask you, y'all. So once I realized that had happened,
Yeah.
I wanted to troll her. and Aaron wouldn't let me. I wanted to go out there and be like, "Hey, go make me a sandwich right now." It just wanted to troll her. Just wanted to
But
troll
he
her.
wanted
Just
me
make
to
her
be
mad.
like, he wanted me to be like in Django. Remember when they were like, "Yes, Big Daddy." You remember him at the
Get your ass in that kitchen right now. We would have just trolled her, but she wouldn't. Aaron said, "No, we can't do that."
It was a sandwich.
She said we're hosting people. We're being nice. We can't do that. But I wanted to troll her. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's gonna make her mad. Let's make her mad.
So at the very end, right at the very end of all of that, and she was just like flustered and angry, and she's crying. I said, "If you're upset,
Crying?
yeah, she was like, you like angry crying, black woman angry crying, not sobbing,
Yeah, it's just
like tears." And I don't know what it was, but at the very end, I said, "If you mad about that sandwich, you really gonna be mad when we go to bed tonight." She left. She walked out the front door, and that was the end of that. I don't know what to tell you. You can help some of the people, you can't help all of them.
can't help all of them.
But there are some people, especially the young ones. There's a young lady I talked to on my Facebook, and she wants to know, like, what is a good way to be a wife? What are some good things that husbands like? What are some things that they don't like? What is it like being a wife? How do you like stay together for it? So there are some. She's one, but there's one of her. There's 10 of her. There's 100 of her. Somewhere, she does want to know what life is like and what to do and things that work. So I think if the quiet ones, because it's the squeaky wheel getting all the oil, if the quiet wheels kind of speak up, I think we can at least combat some of the poor narratives that are out there. I don't know who told women that your husband tells you what to do when you're married. Every woman I've ever talked to who's been married as long as I have, your husband asks you nicely. "Baby, can you make me a sandwich? Baby, you want to go with me to the store? Baby, you want to watch this lecture?" Like, my husband's never asked me. Now, I did talk about the Lynn Alden thing, but I understood where that come from. Don't give up on this, because you're not going to get it if you give up on it. You're going to watch it again. Right? And if I'd have said, "No, I ain't watching it again," he'd have left it alone. He would have
Right.
left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then after we finished watching it, he said, "We're going to watch it one more time, okay?" Real nice, not mean. But he does have standards and expectations of his wife. Just like as a wife, I do have certain standards and expectations of my husband. But y'all women ain't going to be rolling out here with high value men who got a hell of money. And you don't think you don't have to abide by the standards and expectations. You do it at work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your boss tell you what to do. You don't complain about that.
And see,
Yeah,
that's another thing that bothers me too. Like, you'll do what your boss say, you'll do what your caseworker wants, but your husband, what type of sense does that make?
Yeah, that's a big problem in the black community, because, like you said, you'll do what your boss said at work, but you can't do what your husband
And
says.
he's going to ask you nicely.
And then if your husband says, "Just treat me like you would treat your boss at work," that's problematic, because that gets them angry. And I understand.
Yeah, it does.
We all got to survive out here, but just,
Crit Work said they not together anymore. Maybe she should have made him a sandwich. I don't think she knew how to cook.
Shut up.
The triangle cut. Yeah, Shook Folk Digital said the triangle cut. Sharing spaghetti noodles. Joke. Oh, cousin Jake is on, y'all. I didn't even peep that. Jake must have what'd he say? Don't hate on us, the real pharmacist. He said, I know pharmacy you talking about. I ain't talking. CC ain't doing that. I don't know if she's doing that or not, so I can't speak for that. Cousin Tron said he's currently no. What you say,
I
T?
just looked that up when you said that about the off-grid black families. They doing numbers on YouTube. I'm looking. They got 450,000 views, 280,000 views, 11,000. They doing numbers.
Yeah, I think
I'll be drinking micheladas. I get like 35 views.
I mean, and it's hard. and it's hard work. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work. It's not a glamorous life.
It's not glamorous. I tell y'all that all the time.
Cats is building their own shelters. They're trying to run their own plumbing.
It's choices and trade-offs.
Yeah, it's not glamorous. It is not glamorous at all. But there's a level of freedom there that that you can enjoy that you can't enjoy in the
But
United
that's the
States.
choice, and that's the
Cat might
trade-off.
have to go, like I said, you might have to go down there and fish and get the food for the day, put in the work, wife cook it, everybody's
But
taking
she
care of
may
it.
have to kill the chicken, or she may have to, slaughter the lamb or slaughter the cow,
Yeah,
or
we
it's
get
not
rid of
easy
her.
to do. Slaughter the pig. It's not easy to do. I don't have to do those things, but I tell y'all, I live in
Yeah,
the
you
bush.
scared of chickens.
I am scared of chickens.
Yeah,
I think you're mean. You're right. I must have got chased by one as a child and forgot or something.
she tripping.
I'm scared of chickens. I don't like ducks either.
She's tripping.
They're too much like chickens.
It's just a bird.
But I tell
Bird.
people, like, you guys, see us and you see this and you see that. It's choices and trade-offs. I make very deliberate choices
Mhm.
to trade off for a bit of freedom, to do very specific things for our family, and put away the convenience, put
So
away
let
the
me-
glamour, put away the fads.
So, like one of the trade-offs, this was a point of contention with me, a little bit of something that I didn't like in the United States, and it's just how much they ask to see your ID, just to do anything. And
Everything.
it's like, everything they got to see your ID. I see ID.
Yeah,
and
the park.
And then it's like, oh, I need to see it. So what's your social security number?
Mhm.
Right. And I hated that. I hated giving randoms my social security number, like when I'm trying to start up a new phone or something. I hated that. I said, why you need my social security number? It's very, I try to keep that number. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is when you get to these other countries, don't nobody ask your ID.
12-year-olds drive, so they're not asking for
Ain't
ID.
nobody asked to see my ID for nothing.
They can barely see over. They drive their little dad's pickup trucks and stuff.
Don't
They're
know-
like 12, so we don't have to worry about that here. But we did get pulled over a lot. And
I
then
don't
when we
even show
got the
my ID.
commissioner involved,
And I don't even show my ID because they don't want nothing.
no, they want some money.
They want money, and I refuse to give it to them.
But I'm talking about real choices and trade-offs.
That's a choice of trade-off. Am I gonna get?
I
shut
can't
down?
eat at the Cheesecake Factory if I wanted to because we don't have one, right? We cook.
Yeah,
And when I
macaroni
say we
grill.
cook, Mama Simon cooks 6 days a
We
week,
got macaroni grill.
right? And some women will tell you they ain't about to do that for 6 people. Our dinners, I've talked to y'all, are Thanksgiving-sized dinners every day. When I wash clothes, it is say hi, cousin.
Cousins. We got cousins on
When I
live.
wash clothes, 6 loads of clothes. That's
This-
for everybody.
This is our basketball superhero.
Oh,
So,
Okay.
My husband does make sure he hires domestic staff to help me keep the house clean because it's a big house and I do need help. So he makes sure I have
I'll be trying.
that. You hear him? I be trying. It's it's a
It's
lot.
only one person.
It's a lot. Well,
Oh,
that's him calling his little brother lazy. So
Yeah.
he does make sure I have domestic staff to keep the house clean.
It's dark.
But he don't want to eat tacos, so his wife got to cook, right? He wants the food that he wants. Some women are going to be like, I'm not doing that. I want to eat out. If you want to save aggressively the way we're going to save, you're not eating out. It's a choice and a trade-off, right? And that's the thing that a lot of women, when your husband has a vision, when he has there's an idea there's a concept that can help make y'all great. You have to do the work to get there. And it's not fun. It's not glamorous. It's not fabulous. It's not all that shit they keep feeding y'all. It's work. It's work.
Yeah, it's work. It's discipline.
And you have to be willing to do the work. You have to smile. You have to be put together, right? Because whether you're the face of his business or not, you are his face, right? However you present yourself, you are presenting yourself on behalf of your other half, and he's presenting himself on your behalf. So that's why I said the women who want that game, they're out there. They want that game.
And just not to not to front run the situation, but we have a situation where we're trying to meet up with the president of El Salvador,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Personally, me, you want your woman to look, good in a black gown and stuff like that, ready to go.
She gotta look a certain way.
I'm gonna come. I gotta come suited and booted, but I'm ready for that any day of the week.
And she has to be able to work the room. Ladies who want 6-figure men, listen to what I'm saying. You have to put a portfolio together, right? The women who get, the women who are like, I don't want no average guy and I don't want this and I don't want that, then you need to put a portfolio together. You need to put a portfolio together to take you from a Cincinnati adjustable 6 to an 8. Right? And it doesn't always have to be fresh face out the shower, but if you put the portfolio together, it would bring you to that 8. Right? You have to be able to work the room. You have to be charming. You have to be able to speak shop talk when you're in the room with people. We meet with the mayor. We meet with the police commissioner. We go to these Bitcoin meetups. We don't know who we meeting up with, Deca millionaires and all these other people. And they have to be able to say, I really enjoyed that conversation with your wife. And yes, I would like to know more about your consultancy.
Yeah.
It's not my consultancy.
And shout out to the late great legend Kevin Samuels. He also will say, for women, we need to see your.
You can't see my collarbone. So
we need to see a collarbone in your dress.
Just stop.
So if you can see a collarbone, then yeah.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen
see my
to him.
collarbone,
but you do need to put a portfolio together as the other half, especially when businesses are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm his tech assistant, production assistant. I do all of the correspondence. I do the emails. I do the this. I do the that. He gets to focus on the numbers. He gets to focus on the clients. I can't do that. I don't have that experience. I don't have that expertise.
So we got to split it.
So it's a collaborative effort. And the problem I have is you will do that shit at work and get half the significant, a quarter of the significant beneficial outcome, a fraction of the significant beneficial outcome. I get all the significant beneficial outcome.
And see, some women would say, why am I working on his dream? I want my dream. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
Yeah, but I do remember the days when my legal name is Mistress Gordon Alexander Simon. If that's his dream, it's our dream. I understand that. And let me tell you, there is nothing in this world.
He was like, I ain't even gonna say nothing.
Hey, because it don't resonate, man. That's like telling Michael Jordan that, everybody can't play like you. You know what he gonna say? They just didn't put the work in. I put in. They ain't moving in the gym as long. No, man.
What is the truth?
Good, man. Yeah, y'all good.
It is
killing me, bro. You're killing me.
It throws you off to the side.
He said, "Little Anthony Edwards." Oh, he's talking about you, baby. That's cousin Jay. But I mean, there are women who want that game. There are women out there who want that game. I read.
But at that point, we become whoremongers because we got to run. I said at that point, men will become whoremongers because we have to run through so many women to find that one. So we're going to look bad either way.
That's the truth. I didn't even think about
that. That's why I see y'all got lucky. Y'all, I mean, hey, man. We
proud of y'all. We proud of y'all. 100%. Definitely proud.
I mean,
you got lucky too. You found a man that had his head on his shoulders. All of us, some
my ears work.
Got it.
My ears work. They work all the way.
So yeah, I understand your sentiment. I always give hard pushback to the word lucky.
I'm gonna tell you why though. I'm from New York, so it wasn't easy. Right, cousin Rue?
Oh yeah,
I'm from New York.
Believe me.
It was not an easy road. It's great now.
I know New York women. Let's just say that.
Okay, I'm gonna take that back there and say, I'm gonna say, Simon, you put in more, or Gordon, you put in more work to find the right one than most of us do. We might see a pretty face in the big behind. We'd be like, we're gonna start with that. We're gonna try to work it from that. Well, I don't care what you got up here. We're gonna see what we can do. You probably said, I don't care about all that. Let me see what's on our mind first, and then we'll work down. So you smarter than most of us.
Yeah.
Facts.
She was
I was 2 handfuls.
She was very smart and intelligent.
But she was a New Yorker. Go on, say it.
Man, she might have been 19.
Yeah, I met you. We met when you were 19.
19. Yeah, right there. You're about to turn 20 because it was December.
And it was your birthday, the week of your birthday we met.
Yeah.
Because you invited me to your birthday thing. I was like, no.
Yeah, because our first date, our second date, we watched the Super Bowl together.
So that's February.
Throwback. It was the Ravens versus Giants way back.
You all
remember that game? You remember that game? And I'm all like this. I'm like, I'm thinking she's a Giants fan, and she don't even care.
I don't know nothing about no football.
She don't
I
even
nothing
care.
about
I said, that's why I made it a Super Bowl date. I said, oh, it's the Giants. Yeah, she gonna like her team. I got her some
And
wings.
you know what?
No, he was
I
cussing
watched
you out right then.
game. I watch all of the NBA games. I do all of the stuff that he's interested. I sit and I do. Sports is a little bit harder for me to get. That's because I made 3 more. But for the women, whatever they're and he's into the things I'm into. I write books, he listens to, my little romantic, dramatic storylines and stuff. My husband, whatever I ask him for, he typically gives me, but I do ask within reason. I understand the mission.
And
I
understand,
don't ask for stuff outside the mission.
Understand the romantic dramas. She asked me for little darts and like, how would a man think in this situation?
Yeah, I need that.
And I would tell her like, oh no, you clean this up because that's not.
He wouldn't really say that, yeah, or he wouldn't do that.
I should have got some writer's credit. I don't believe that I did though. But that's a conversation for another day.
You see the selfishness, T. Will line.
I
published 4 books, not one writer's credit.
Where I'm at, where they at though?
That's funny.
So, I helped her though.
I can republish it and put the little writer's credit.
Okay, please do.
I got me a dedication. That's not enough.
Also give me a dedication. Oh my goodness.
Gordon,
But
you got
I think
that ghostwrite credit.
We need to have this type of discourse on the right platform. This is the choir I'm talking to. We the church talking to each other instead of being out in the street talking literally to them streets.
Them streets, man. The streets is nasty.
Right? And they can at least hear where I'm coming from, and I can gain an understanding on what they're thinking and where they're coming from. I don't know that I would understand the psychological makeup because a lot of it doesn't make sense to me, and maybe it's not to make sense. Mm-hmm. And that could be the problem. But the quiet wheels we need to talk to those squeaky wheels that's getting all the oil. And they keep pushing that because they do want to break up their families. They're not going to push this. They're not going to push this. Our show would probably never get, more than maybe 1,000 views. Tasha K, she talking everybody business, breaking up households, one celebrity household at a time. She's going to get 10, 12, 15 million views.
People that.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah. And we understand that, and I go all the way back, and I talk, and I mean because I go all the way back to like the Malcolm X times, and he was having a hard time getting people to come to his mosque. He's standing on the corner, and he get 5, 10 people to come to the mosque and just listen to him, and that's Malcolm X. It took him a long time to get traction, so people could just listen to what he was saying,
and then he died.
Well, then he was assassinated, yes. But once he was gaining traction.
And then he died.
Yeah. And so.
But like the Fresh and Fit podcast, they're going to get 3, 4, 5 million views.
That's one of
you
my
got a bunch of single men talking to a bunch of single women. Nice. Every woman they're talking to got a body count of more than 30, right? They do it on purpose. They're not going to have an Aaron sit on there like, what the hell is going on in this room right now? What's happening? They're not going to have me on there.
So.
Yeah, because that doesn't feed their narrative, right? Especially if I'm trying to convert, they're not gonna like that because then body counts go down.
What's that white dude I keep talking about?
Well, the body count can't go down. Body counts are reduced.
He do that show. He look real normal, like a normal white dude.
Whatever.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't remember his name, but is the podcast called Whatever? I think it's called Whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is. And he had Candace Owens on there, and she was really beat down. She was beating him down, telling him like, you can't behave like this. Like you have to step. Yeah, Candace Owens was beating him down.
But see, they did that on purpose because the black women, right? We can't. You have a white husband. I can't. Who are you talking to?
I was just about to say
you just had a baby. Republicans talking. It's not gonna resonate.
It's not gonna resonate.
Right.
At least Candace Owens was trying to.
She's trying, right? I get it, but
she was beating them down.
But you see, that's what I mean when they do it. They're gonna do it in a way where it's like, as long as it don't resonate, it's cool. But let her go on there and let her, lecture them and so on and so forth. Don't have.
I think as long as they get their money, that's what they care about more than anything. They want to get their money.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants, money. At this point in time. And it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that it has come to that,
because we want to find a way to get the women involved in this building of Bitcoin, right? If we have 2 incomes, that's twice the income, that's twice the building, because corporate is buying up that Bitcoin at a rate that we just can't compete with.
And for us out here, man, you understand, you do the stats, you understand the stats, men will probably die before their wives.
So you're going to get left of stuff anyway, as cold as that sounds.
So you got to make sure the paperwork's in order. You want to leave it to your wife, to your children, whatever, but it has to be taken care of.
But how many men pass away, and because the women were so hands off, they have no idea what was left, where it was left, how much is left, how to access what was left. How often does that happen? It happens way more often than it should.
Yeah, and then stuff just goes away forever.
Because you couldn't be bothered. Yeah. And these are all of the little things that I kind of want to tie up. Mm-hmm. Right? I would like to talk to the women. Let me talk to y'all about
crazy
Bitcoin.
Though.
Why? Because you're gonna be out here spending it, ma'am.
Why. Let me tell you this. I'd rather you spend it than let it be lost forever.
Yeah.
Spend it.
But not Jake, right? Cousin Jake was like, it's gone.
Your cousin Jake said,
hey, I remember I told you, the older I get, the more I get like Les Brown. I remember I told you, I said, Les Brown say, he a millionaire. He said, I don't care if I got a quarter left when I die. When my kids standing around, I'm going to swallow it. You're not getting this. Because you're going to squander it.
You did say that. You said that like 2 shows ago.
Les Brown. Yeah. Shout out to Les Brown. Les Brown put a lot.
Yeah.
He put a lot in the game, man. He used to give us a lot of game.
But that's part of the conscious nation building, right? Training the children in the way they should go, so it should not depart from them. Like I said, when I sit and listen, they sit and they listen, right? When I start giving instructions, you got paid today? Yes. Give your father some money so he can go on and put it into your Bitcoin wallet, or give him some money so he can put it in the Sun Exchange wallet.
Or give him some money so he can buy some tequila. Do something for your father, man.
But just kind of training them so when things happen, they know how to keep that train going and to stay on. I know that's my favorite saying. And to keep that train going, and they can do it for their progeny, and then they can train their children. This is why I want to get the women on board. It's more than just, okay, so you want me to learn this so I can figure out how much I have and how much I can spend? No, right? If your children mean something to you, if your grandbabies mean something to you, I want to talk to you so that we can cultivate this thing in a way where there's an inheritance passed down every generation into perpetuity. That is what I want. That is my desire.
Yeah, and like
I'm gonna try,
and I'm gonna bounce off. I'm gonna bounce off as good luck, because wealth is lost in one generation.
I'm gonna try.
So he's right. Good luck. Like you get it here to here, but
it's coming from both
2 generations.
Parents, so it has more. It's more likely to stick.
If you get it if you get it from 1 and 2, then then good luck. You're not here, and hopefully they take care of it.
But I'm still gonna try, even if it's just one young lady at a time.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's why I say most people that listen to this show, we salute what y'all do. We actually like the show.
We know y'all love
most of the audience. We understand. But at some point, you're gonna go crazy trying to help people. You're not in the States. You helping from this. You helping from this box. For me to help somebody, I got to talk on face to face, and they gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is true.
I understand. Do something, though. We gotta do something. It's running away. We gotta do something.
Well, you gotta stay. I say we just stay diligent about what we do.
10 toes down.
10 toes down, and then pass it on to the others so they can keep your 10 toes down. If you're not here, if you pass.
Hey, we ain't got that much longer to wait. 2053, man. 2053.
We're gonna be old in 2053.
2050, you talking about
that's when they say black people ain't gonna have no wealth.
That's when we're gonna be broke.
Let's just get it over with.
2053, how old be? I'm gonna be old man.
Wealth goes to zero collectively.
I'm gonna be old man, and my children gonna be taken care of.
I'm trying to be Ernie Hudson out here. Y'all seen Ernie Hudson? Like what he looks at like at 78.
Mm-hmm.
My man's like swole. He looked
You
like
talking about from Ghostbusters? That Ernie Hudson?
yeah. He looked ready to run a triathlon or something like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man,
as an old man.
Yeah.
sometimes
look it up.
Well, he was like 40 in Ghostbusters and 80
Right.
whatever.
yeah. Sometimes they got old. He was the
I only know him in Ghostbusters.
he was the warden in Oz. I mean,
He was the warden in
from the old
Oz.
school people, if y'all remember that.
He was.
But yeah, he out here swole now.
He was who?
Oh, Mike Bibby been swole.
Nah.
Mike Bibby been swole. Nah, when he retired.
All right,
he was
y'all.
swole.
We're at the hour and 59-minute mark. There's 41 people
Ooh,
in the
that
room.
went by quick. Good.
You
God.
felt like that went by quick?
Oh yeah. It went by real quick.
Yeah, it went
Really?
by quick. That's cool. It's
I
good
wouldn't be
for a
worried
first time.
if we
I
have
just
y'all count.
got one request. Next time, let's talk
Go
about the money and get off the women because we can't help the women. We can help the money. Let's get
Oh, we can't help him.
it.
We're going to talk about the regulations next show.
Yeah, some regulations popping
Right, the stuff that they're trying to do. That way everybody can be aware of it. Shout out to Crit Work, who just kind of like tilted my antenna like, hey, check that out. So, okay, we're going to check it out. Bring it to you.
And we got to talk about, for my people, we got to talk about Suriname, if you're familiar with that country.
With the president.
Next guy
That's
in
Dutch
South
Guyana.
America. So they have a presidential candidate who's coming up like Bukele and wanting to, Bitcoinize. Is that a word? Is that a word?
Bitcoinize. Oh, you make it a word. Say
Okay.
copywritten, so don't copy me.
So they want to Bitcoinize Suriname.
What happened to Cousin T? Did I lose
He
him?
popped something up. Something popped up.
Oh,
Like,
he left.
that's okay. He's ready to go.
Can I run for president in a different country and Bitcoinize it?
No, you gotta be blood to soil. So,
Is that-
Cousin Rue, I want to say thank you, cousin, because this was Cousin T. Will Line's idea. But we'll definitely do this again. It's good to get all of the additional information. And when Cousin Rue on is additional expertise. So I always appreciate that. Next show, we are going to talk about some regulation. Suriname, was it platinum?
Oh yeah, we got some stories about platinum and palladium and industrial use,
And their
not just
industrial
investment use, but industrial use across the globe. So
Across the sectors.
to me, it's interesting. I know it might be boring to other people, but we nerds.
But I think too, right? Just understanding that at some point silver will be struck from the periodic table because it's been mined into extinction.
Yeah,
They're already hustling after another industrial. So it may be something to look into. Just dollar cost average your way along.
Yeah,
Right.
And shout out to the big homie, man. The 10% will always understand. Shout out. I understand what you're saying.
What?
10% will always understand. Some people say 5% will understand. You
The
underdig.
5% nation. Yeah, we know 5%ers. We get it.
You underdig.
Shout out to the New Yorkers.
We underdig.
I would have talked to you about the 5% nation in the 90s in New York.
God's
God's over here.
We always shout them out. T. Will Line, I click Ruel.
You would be Ruler Universal. What was E?
I got my shoes. Okay.
What was E again?
Say that
Cousin Rue would be Ruler Universal.
I'm sorry.
The 5% alphabet.
Yeah.
Stay with me. Cousin Rue would be
Right.
Ruler Universal. What's the E? I can't remember the E.
Oh, I can't either. Rue knows it.
What's that?
Allah zigzag zig, ruler zigzag
Yeah, 'cause we
zig,
kept
ruler
it right.
universal.
Okay, that one I don't know.
I used to know the alphabet, I was growing up.
Yeah, I did, too.
I used to know the whole alphabet, but they used to spell your name out phonetically. I would have to look it up. It's
Okay.
probably like everlasting or something like that.
Yeah.
But ruler universal. I used to be able to spell my name 5% nationwide.
Shout out to the 5% nation.
But shout out to the 5%ers.
Yeah, they do a lot in the community, though. They do a lot in the community. But yeah, this was a good show, man. So it was a good discourse about,
I know I wanted to pull it together for the women, but we'll figure something out. But I do think that some mentorship is in order. Doesn't even have to be by me, but we need to turn the narrative around. That's it, you guys. We will see you guys on Wednesday at 7. We're trying to do hard fast Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna keep the floor open for you guys at Cousin T. Will Line's request, because I do like talking with the cousins. I always need the extra expertise, Cousin Rue. We appreciate you guys so much. Of course, I'm gonna shout out Let Freedom Ring, because you are our longest supporter, and we appreciate you so much.
And I gotta talk to Cousin Rue, man. We need to get into some more metaphysical conversations. So we can go down that rabbit hole. Yeah,
did you send me the link I asked you to send me, Cousin Rue?
No.
I had sent you an email. I think I got shadow banned or something weird. Like, I haven't seen your shows in a while. So I was like, send me your most recent link, because I can't even access them.
Okay,
I found them.
Shadow banning us, cousin.
I found them on Twitter. But
oh, you found it on Twitter? He did find it on Twitter for me.
It's May 9th. It was the last time I found
But
it.
I don't like that, because we be on top of that.
I might be shadow banned out here. But yeah, y'all. If y'all can email me anytime. I need to give y'all my name.
Okay, yeah, I sent you an email this morning. So if you could just send me the most recent show, I would appreciate that. The YouTube one, that way. I got it on Twitter, but I don't like that I can't find it or see it.
But yeah, we definitely got to get back on the metaphysics.
Thank you, Nerd Up Inc. I didn't get to say hello to you. Bye, Crit Work. Thank you so much, Cousin Rue. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Mamba out.